And then on December, no, not December, October 31st, we have Briar Hill. And on November 1st, we have Gallion. Alright, I believe we are done putting ourselves over. So we are wrestling with the news. And last Friday, Nick Aldis became the SmackDown General Manager. Um, I'm happy that he's in WWE, but I'm a little bit sad that it's not as a pro wrestler. What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, even if he went in as a pro wrestler, who would? Maybe this is the angle to get him in as a manager and then get him to wrestle. You don't know, or maybe Aldis had enough of it. He gave it his all. So I mean,
It feels like if you won the NWA Championship, you don't get a WWE wrestling run. You get a GM run, like Adam Pearce. I mean, don't tell
I
me
mean,
that they're gonna bring Brodus Clay back as a general manager of NXT.
they might. You never know.
Oh God, no.
You never know.
So, do you? I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, but do you think that it's only a ploy to get him in the ring, or do you think career-wise he's done, wrestling-wise he's done?
And I don't think he's done, but hey, man, WWE checks speak volume. If they want him to be a pole, it will be a pole.
But if you believe in rumor and innuendo, then you believe that CM Punk will be appearing at Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory this upcoming. I don't even know when it is, but there is rumor and innuendo that CM Punk is coming to Impact, whether it's for the night or as a full-fledged member of the roster. Would you like
And
to
and
bust the
I'm
bubble
not.
with people?
I, I got a better chance of making the NFL team for the Olympics.
I mean, there
Let's
isn't
put it
an
that way.
NFL team for the Olympics.
Yeah, they're doing flag football, bro.
At the Olympics?
They're wanting to, yeah, they're planning on doing flag football at the Olympics, and they're insisting NFL players play.
Wow. Okay.
Breaking.
Okay. So let's say, for argument's sake, he does appear in Impact Wrestling. If CM Punk appears in Impact Wrestling in the woods, does anybody see it?
Does anybody care?
Well, I mean, let's use this as an example. Since Edge has came to AEW, has it made any difference for ratings or attendance records?
I'll let them tell it. It's starting to turn the corner. But has it made a dent like CM Punk? No. But, I mean, Edge, it, and the reason it didn't make a dent because Edge was never seen as any other guy. Like, you think WWE, you think Edge. Like, just saying. He's one of those guys that are like longtime WWE guys.
Right. I mean, which is
So
continue.
So, I mean, of course it wasn't going to make that dent. CM Punk, the reason his did it because people saw him more of a martyr. Edge is not in that same, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So, could this bring Impact back to glory? At Bound for Glory? If it does happen?
Um, in hindsight, is it gonna bring him back to glory? Not really, but I mean, I think them sticking their script would be bringing them back to glory.
Well, Impact Wrestling alumni, Sami Callihan, his contract has expired, and it doesn't appear that he will be renewing. Um, Karrion Cross has teased a potential maybe tag team, maybe faction with Callahan as one of the members. Um, Callahan was a part of WWE at one point, a part of NXT. Do you see him going back, or do you see him going somewhere else?
Um, I can't say that I don't see. I can't say it's impossible, but I don't see. But if I had to put my money, I don't see him going back
No, that's the correct answer.
at all.
Um, if he, I don't see him going to New Japan. I don't see it that type of wrestling working out for him. But he does have friends in AEW. One John Moxley that loves the stupid kind of wrestling that they do together. Um, I would really like to lump Sammy in with that kind of wrestling, considering he has had good that matches that did make sense from a storyline perspective. Um, so it kind of, in my mind, is just a matter of does he still want to do that style, or does he want something more, you know, calmer, like a WWE style? You know what I mean?
I think he would be willing to do any style as long as they take him. Because it's been a while since he wrestled.
I don't remember the last time he competed.
Wrestled, yeah. Think about that. The last time he competed,
Maybe like a year ago, but I don't follow Impact as regularly as I could or should.
I mean, yeah, you get. I mean, I get it, but I just, to me, in my brain, I'm just looking at it like, it, it, at this point, he's probably willing to go in any ring, like
Does
go in a sumo wrestling ring if they allowed him.
does Sami Callihan's name hold any value?
So it just depends. I mean, desperation is a mother.
But let's say he does go back to WWE. What what are your thoughts on a potential Sami Callihan Karrion Cross faction?
Uh, in my mind, I don't think Karrion Cross needs it, and here's why: because Karrion Cross is starting to build the momentum And I'm not gonna say it's like a Bray Wyatt momentum, but what I'm saying is he's building the momentum that everybody he faces ends up being the opposite of what they were when they faced him.
Okay.
So to me, that in its in my mind, I'm just looking at that and I'm thinking, oh wow, they're actually building something with him. You know what I'm saying? And it takes people to catch on because of course we're in that instant give it to me yesterday generation now. Give it to me as if it was yesterday. But he's actually kind of starting to do a little solid work.
When was the last time we've seen him on SmackDown TV?
I mean, it's been a while, but keep in mind, I mean, probably vacation, chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Arguably the
Not every,
hottest.
not everybody.
But
Roman ain't on there. We bitch about.
but I mean, well, and arguably the hottest time in pro wrestling since the Attitude Era, but he's not making the counts. Seriously?
Hey man, you just asked a question. I gave you an answer. You know what I'm saying?
You're you're
Uh,
right on the long term effects of what he of his rivalries that he's had as of recently. But that being said, where is the money with him now? Where where is the goal? Where is the accolades? Because there isn't. I don't. Did he wrestle? Did he beat? I think he only beat Drew McIntyre. I mean, there hasn't been a real star making moment. I mean, he could have did something in this past WrestleMania. He didn't. He didn't do anything for SummerSlam. When was the last time he's been on pay per view? So I mean, if maybe if he gets with Callahan, there might be a potential for something together that will sell off. Callahan will be a good thing for Cross. I don't necessarily see him doing anything important right now, but that's just my opinion. Um,
I mean, we'll give it time, but I personally think just let the man cook before you start throwing other motherfuckers in the kitchen. Because to me, when you start throwing other motherfuckers in the kitchen, it's one or two things. You think that shit really gonna work, or you think that dude's on his way out.
uh, what do you mean by that? By throwing Callahan with him, it's what, a clutch?
I'm looking at it. Okay, so look at like a not a Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, who was going nowhere in NXT, and then all of a sudden he got Montez Ford, and everybody thought he was either going to be the greatest thing ever, or it was going to be Angelo Dawkins' last fucking ride. To me, that's what I got out of that, and now look at him.
Okay, so you're saying that it could be it could work, but it could not work.
It could be the best thing ever, or that's going to be the final nail in his death in his WWE deathbed.
I got you.
You see what I'm
Okay,
saying? Because how many times they put Dana Brooke with anybody,
right,
and then you see what I'm saying?
right.
So that probably would have been a better analogy. But, but yeah, it's just trying to prove okay, because he could. I mean, it's only speculation, quote unquote. But who's to say, like, oh, he's been doing everything that he can, and it's like, motherfucker, okay, you go get this dude, and it doesn't work, then that's on you because we did what you requested. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not saying that that's the case, but that's just something that could be hypothetical.
Well,
Pure speculation, not saying that's the case.
somebody that's in somewhat of the same boat is Bo Dallas. Uncle Howdy. Um, obviously, we lost Bray. Um, we're not going to kind of see where that necessarily, where it was going to necessarily go with Bray, but Bo is still under contract with WWE, and it is rumor and innuendo that WWE is open to using the character, but nothing of substance has really been brought up that could have Uncle Howdy in it. What are your thoughts on that, Kaliko?
That people are probably sitting up there kicking themselves in the face, going, "You should have just had Bo join the Wyatt family in the first goddamn place." That's the first thing that people probably thinking about. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, but we can't use hindsight right now. We kind of have to use what we got right now, and that is Uncle Howdy and no story to go with him.
Well, he has no story because they kind of put the end of Bray post on all the shows. It kind of ended Bray for his plight. Does it make sense?
I mean, we
The
never really,
forever
yeah.
the forever rocking chair was technically kind of closure.
For Bray, but they're still both. And what you want to continue Bray's legacy in a new way. Maybe he's gone, but the character, the mythical myths that go with him, you know, that still lives on.
It's I can see where you're going, but the problem is that Bo up until now they kind of separated the two. So it's not like a Ray Eddie thing where Ray was super close with Eddie, Ray tagged with Eddie, they were on screen together. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're asking people to kind of suspend that belief of because of the fact that they're brothers, that all of a sudden he has to continue the legacy when he had nothing to do with his legacy up until recently. And that's where I think the disconnect is.
Huh. Well,
You see what I'm saying? You're trying to give the mantle to someone who never was even near the mantle.
I mean, yeah, in a way, yeah, but I mean, Lenny Pavo didn't necessarily have anything with the Macho Man character, but he still championed it after Randy's death. He
Who?
still was, the mascot for the character.
Who?
Lenny Pavo, his brother.
I got your point there. I can see that point, but I get that point. And that could work, but the problem is you're asking the casuals to kind of be like, oh no, suspend that belief that Bo never had anything to do with Bray, but here's Bray. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here he is to take over the mantle. Because Lanny Poffo, even though he took on the Macho King and the Macho Man's legacy, he was doing it as Lanny Poffo.
Well, I mean, and we're not talking
He
about.
wasn't doing it. He wasn't going on screen going, "Oh my God, Macho Man's dead. I'm here to take on the legacy and continue the story of." You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because that's what you're asking. You're asking him to continue the story of Bray. And that's where the disconnect is. Someone who's never been in the story, now you want them to be the story.
Well, I mean, again, it's as Uncle Howdy. So, it's not like, hey, I'm Bo Dallas, I'm going to, finish what Bray started type scenario. But I do see that there is potential to continue the character. And I mean, the problem I see with it right now is everything that you can't do right now. The reason being Alexa Bliss, injured. Braun Strowman, even injured or um, Eric Rowan. Technically, you can bring him back. Don't know if he wants to come back though. Um, so there are possibilities, but two of them are not possibilities right now, and that's the biggest issue I feel that they're facing with coming up with a scenario for him. I mean, you can have him go up against Bobby Lashley, considering that was who Bray was targeting before he passed. Would you go down that route, or would you kind of stay away from it?
I mean, that's a slippery route to go down. I mean, I just think because the thing is like you have to figure out so many questions. Why is Howdy continuing? Why? You see what I'm saying? Why is he doing it? What is his purpose? And how can you get the people to connect? Other than the fact that his brother is dead. Because that's because as much as they're gonna want to try to separate that, that's not gonna be the case.
Um, well, yeah, you can't. It's a part of it now. It always is going to be a part of it. So, I mean, what about we were just talking about carrying cross. It's kind of somewhat of the same lore, but in a different way.
Mm. Not really. Because what's gonna happen is the expectation of Bo to be Bray. Does that make sense?
Well, I feel like you can't have that expectation.
But that doesn't mean you now that's correct and that's something I agree with, but expect that doesn't stop the people who to having that expectation.
Fair enough.
that is where, because that is where the connection is. Because if Howdy ever comes back, they're gonna be like, you better be like Bray, and that's not fair to Bo.
No. But if he
And
does,
that's where the disconnect is.
I do feel, if they do give him if they do give him a chance to be Bo and not Bray, then we could maybe have some magic, and we could have some great storylines. If they kind of find a way to get over that hurdle. Um,
That is true, but the problem is they got to convince the people that that's a hurdle that shouldn't even be jumped over.
right now, going from over a hurdle to over the hill. Sting announced his retirement. It's coming in 2024 at the Revolution pay. Um, did Sting retire in that match against Seth Rollins a couple years ago?
Sting WWE. You forget, man. There's WWE retirements and then there's wrestling retirements. Two totally different retirements. Ric Flair did it. Terry Funk did it.
Ric Flair wants to do it again.
Ric Flair wants to do it again. Do you see my point? So,
Yeah,
and Sting's doing it.
I
Happens all
mean,
the time.
I don't want to say it's not a big event, but when it comes to AEW, it's not necessarily a big event. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. It's just because who is he going to fight for this retirement match?
Ric Flair.
Oh my God, boy, don't you stop! You better stop! You better fucking quit!
I mean, what about Ricky the Dragon?
Someone said it was gonna be the Undertaker.
Fuck no. Does he look like Edge to you?
I mean, me, Mark Calloway.
I mean, the only
That's what I.
there's two people that makes the most sense, and that's Chris Jericho or Darby Allin.
Why? I mean, it ain't gonna be Darby, so Jericho it is. Jericho it shall become.
I mean, we're assuming that it's going to be a singles match. What if it's just a tag team match?
How the hell would you do a retirement match and a tag team match?
I don't know. I mean, Keiichi Muto had like 15 of them before he actually retired.
That makes no sense though. Why the hell? That's like retiring from tennis and doubles. Nigga, you want all the glory when your ass in your final matches are doubles. No, when you retire, you want all that shit. All eyes on you. Sting Sting ain't that damn stupid.
Do you? Well, I had mentioned obviously Darby and Jericho. Do you have any suggestions for a last match?
I mean, the question is who's gonna benefit from him retiring? Who's gonna benefit from saying they took Sting out? Jericho doesn't get anything. What the fuck is he gonna get?
I mean, Darby could just say that he was the one that retired his friend, I guess. I mean, it's an
Retired his
unfortunate.
mentor. Oh yeah, I took my mentor out. That sounds good. That sounds that sounds like Darby Allen is an upstanding citizen. He still owes me money, by the way.
But I mean, speaking of Darby, um, he maybe has a fractured shoulder that might keep him out of action for quite some time.
So
Um,
then it won't be Darby.
yeah, I mean, Darby deserves a rest at this point, considering like he really fucked up his back at All In, and now he fractured his shoulder. I hope that this gives him somewhat of a light bulb moment where he could say, maybe it's time to go slower. Probably not, but we can only hope, right?
Stop coughing dropping from 3,000 feet. Nah, that's too much like sense.
It sounds too much like sense. Yeah,
No, don't do the Jeff Hardy every time. I mean, even Jeff Hardy was like certain occasions. He wasn't doing that shit every week.
no, he was not. Alright, uh, that brings us to uh, our last bit of news. Um, the top 500 black wrestlers of 2023. It's the fifth edition, presented by your boy Righteous Red. Oh, Reg. Yeah, Righteous Red. Reg. Why can't I fucking talk tonight? Have you seen the list, please? Oh,
Because you messed up my boy's name.
have you seen the list?
Righteous Reg.
Thank you.
And no, I have yet to see the list, so lay it on me.
Who do you? Well, we're only going to go through the first. We're only going to go through the top 10 names because our main.
Bullshit! You went through the whole 500 of fucking the top 500, but you can't do the black people? What's up, man?
Because we're doing the top of our main event tonight is the top 250 women of PWI. That's that is 750 names. Do you really want me to say 750 names tonight, Kaliko?
I mean, you went through 500. If you're gonna go through 500, you better go through 750 of the men and women,
Son of a bitch. Are we done?
Hey, you set that bar, sir. I'm just holding you up to it. Although I wouldn't blame you if you didn't.
Yeah. So let's out of your personal opinion, who was the top black wrestler from October of last year to October of this year, in your opinion?
The top black wrestler. The top black wrestler. Jesus. The top black wrestler. If you're going title reign wise, Athena? Because it seemed like she was the longest champion,
Well,
right?
I'll give you credit. Athena was number two. Would you like one more
'Cause
crack at who number one is?
if Athena's two, this number one better be. Let me see.
No?
I'm rolling through the Rolodex. It's not Moose. Your silence says it all.
No, it's not. It's not
Oh,
Mercedes.
okay, I was about boy.
Would you like me?
Okay, so
Would you like me to drop the bomb? So
it's
it's
not Lashley.
it's Brian Keat.
What?
It's Brian Keat. That
Nah, it should have been Athena.
Martina was number two. So
Yeah, but it should have been Athena. It should have been Athena.
I suppose when you hold a championship in the woods, at least Righteous Red sees it. So good for her. Number three, Swerve Strickland. I like Swerve, so I could see that. Number four, Willow Nightingale. Number five, Ricky Starks. Number six, Bianca Belair.
Ricky Starks is black? Bruh, look every bit of Puerto Rican. Talk about.
I could not tell you, so without maybe possibly getting canceled. So that is off my All right, number six, Bianca Belair. Number seven, Mercedes Monet. Uh, Number eight, Michael Aku. Aku.
Aku. Bless you.
Thank you. Number nine, Carmelo Hayes, and number 10, Darius Carter. What are your thoughts on the top 10?
Athena should be one. Swerve's just picked. I mean, Swerve top five is legit. I think that's legit. But Athena should have been number one. Oh, Tom, I'm a little perplexed, but I mean, she's gained some steam.
Who?
Willow, but
Willow.
Swerve should have been one.
I thought you said Athena still been one. I I personally don't have that much issue with it. Brian Keat, um, don't know enough about the guy to really say that he deserves number one. Um, I understand why Bobby Lashley isn't in this because he is didn't really do a lot this year, unfortunately. Starting to come back up. Carmelo Hayes should be top five. Let's be honest. No, talking to myself for the moment. Um, Bianca, what did Bianca do? I mean, for the majority of the time, she was champion. I think Mercedes had as many matches as Bianca had months as still as champion during this time.
Yeah, you know what? Now when you think about that, yeah, Mello might have been should have been one. So Athena, I mean, but Mello's reign was so short
I mean, yeah, but it's not
because Mello's
necessarily.
reign started Mania weekend and it just ended. So his peak, if you would call it, was not as peakish as Athena. Does that make sense?
I'm not exactly.
Athena made Athena took on all comers. Mercedes being top 10 when she didn't really wrestle half a year. Because keep in mind, this is from October. So half that time she was hurt
Right.
to the person who beat her, Willow Nightingale.
Right.
So I mean, I'm just glad he didn't put Too Cold Scorpio as number one. Because if he had it his way, he would put Too Cold Scorpio at one every year. But I love Reg. I love his list. With that being said, Mello maybe should have been up there. Swerve is right where he is. It's about right considering that he's picking up major steam. Athena should have been one because Athena is just big carrying the women's ROH division. So yeah.
Alright. And shout out to Alex King, who was number 20. Aaron Ash, who was 114. Jocelyn Navarro, who was 104. All friends of the show.
Alex Kane at 20 is pretty good.
I feel like Alex should have been maybe top 10. Replace Darius Carter with Alex, and you have maybe a more solid top 10, in my opinion. It's trying to.
I think if Alex has a long reign, he'll be top 5. Easy.
We shall see.
I mean, but Trick is starting to pick up steam too. But it's gonna be funny with Trick and Mello. So
Right, because I mean, Trip is just starting to get his the win underneath his wings right now. You know what I mean?
yeah, but being Condom, I mean, hey,
All right. Any last words about the top 500 Black wrestlers?
I will take a look at it. And my thing is that like a lot. I'm just glad that there's more companies to expose a lot of these wrestlers because I feel like sometimes WWE you kind of get pigeonholed as a certain way, and there's a lot of varying character dynamics amongst this group. So kudos are in order.
All right. That will conclude our news for right now. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.